Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. Yesterday, Labor Relations Court dealt a very big blow to IEBC CEO Marjan and former IEBC commissioners Boyamulu, Gulie, and Chebukati. Late last year, Hussein Marjan, with the help of Chebukati, Boyamulu, and Gulie, interdicted IEBC's Vice CEO Ruth Kulundu. And the main reason why they interdicted Kulundu was that Kulundu organized an IEBC's meeting that was attended by the Cherera 4 commissioners. We all know that there was a split in the commission. 4 commissioners against 3 IEBC commissioners. So yesterday, Labor and Relations Court suspended that interdiction and even found Hussein Marjan to have breached IEBC's Code of Conduct. In this video, I want us to dig deep into that story, after which I'll explain why I strongly believe and I still maintain that the Supreme Court might have made a very big blunder by siding with minority commissioners at the expense of a majority IEBC commissioners. Before doing that, if you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Yes. Let's have a look at Ruth Kulundu's lawyer's argument in court, an argument that the court agreed with. Her lawyer, Hosea Manuel, asserted that the commission's decision cannot be ratified by the minority. The first respondent, IEBC, has acted in excess of its powers to purport to interdict the applicant from her employment without the approval of a majority of the commissioners, which actions are in excess of his legal mandate. Further, the first respondent continues to act in a manner that completely flouts the provisions of the law on the rights of the applicant and continues to breach her rights to fair labor practices, argued Manuel. Yes. So that was the argument of Kulundu's lawyer in the court. And the lawyer is making it very clear that there was no way minority commissioners could actually sack or interdict a staff. And the courts, or rather the court seemed to have agreed with that argument. The court had this to say: it is a matter of public notoriety that the court takes judicial notice that there was a major split with the 2 factions of Chebukati 3 and Cherera 4. This created a toxic working relationship for employees. It was expected that Marjan would have injected alkali instead. It appears he was sucked into the split. The move was a manifestation for the split. Marjan Hussein was in violation of the IEBC HR policy. He was the prosecutor and executioner, ruled Justice Ndolo. Yes. That's how the ruling actually was at the Labor Relations Court. So the interdiction was suspended yesterday. And you have seen that the court even found Hussein Marjan as having breached IEBC's, or rather having breached the law. And I'm taking that to mean that the court is also finding fault with Chebukati, Boyamulu, and Gulie. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? Let's dig deep. Yes. I'm taking that ruling as a direct indictment on IEBC's Hussein Marjan. That alone is enough to warrant Hussein Marjan's removal from office because already he has breached the law. That alone warrants his removal from the commission. And also, if you look at it keenly, I'm seeing a very high possibility where tables are turning against Chebukati and his team, because that ruling in one way or the other also indicts Chebukati, Boyamulu, and Gulie. They actually also went against the law by interdicting Ruth Kulundu. And that's also very interesting because the issue of 4 commissioners against 3 commissioners was also deliberated in the court. And from the ruling, I'm seeing the court agreeing, and that's why the judge is saying Marjan made that decision unilaterally. That puts the spot on the Supreme Court. That puts the spot on the Supreme Court. And I've always maintained here that the mere fact that the commission was divided, with a majority of the commissioners disputing 2022 presidential election results, even without delving deep into what happened, that alone was enough to nullify 2022 August presidential election. Majority of the commissioners were in disagreement with the results. That was enough to nullify 2022 presidential election. So I'm very sure that history will judge me right that the 7 Supreme Court justices actually got it completely wrong by agreeing or rather siding with a minority in the commission, Chebukati and the 2 commissioners, at the expense of a majority of the commissioners. History will actually be very harsh to the 7 Supreme Court justices. They actually got it completely wrong. And that actually brings, or rather, that creates the impression that it might have been possible that already the verdict was predetermined. It was something I can describe a long con. It started with IEBC, and the Supreme Court was clearly in the plot. The Supreme Court was just to sanitize the verdict that was to come from IEBC. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And this is why sometimes I always say here that the weakest link in our judiciary is the apex court, the Supreme Court. In fact, the lower courts sometimes are even performing better than the apex court. The weakest link in the judiciary is the apex court, the Supreme Court. And this is why I maintain and I repeat that the best thing, therefore, for the 7 Supreme Court justices to do in this case is to resign. Because it's clear a good majority of Kenyans don't have trust and faith in them. And even if you were to do a proper scientific survey, you'll just come to that conclusion that a majority Kenyans do not trust or have confidence in the 7 Supreme Court judges. The best thing, if at all they have some conscience, is for them to resign. They are making the judiciary weak and weaker by their continued stay in office. I'm taking that ruling as a very big blow to Chebukati, Boyamulu, and their allies within the commission. And that in one way or the other actually sets free, or rather vindicates, the Cherera 4 IEBC commissioners because they were performing their duty as required by law. If anything, they were a majority. So Hussein Marjan was expected not to take sides. If the Cherera 4 commissioners had called for a meeting, Hussein Marjan ought to have attended that meeting without now aligning himself to one side. So on that alone again, Hussein Marjan fails the test. Let me stop it there. But just as I did indicate when we were starting, if you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. If you want to support our forum, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number or feel free to channel your support to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis.